talking about? Yeah, like that one's wild. And then of course, honorable mention goes to the Dreadnoks or Cold Slither. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like you said yourself, at a comic book shop, do you think working with those artists and like superheroes and supervillains helped you develop a character, helped you become a better wrestler?
No, because I think my wrestling stuff's been more rooted in reality. You know, I don't think I picked up anything. You know, I mean, obviously I picked up something from the Thing, but that's like a sick little thing too. So the two have almost never been like married to one another. You know, I think my wrestling world and my comic book world has been kind of separate, and that's why this today is so rad. It's very, very cool.
Right here. Yep.
What finishing maneuver hurts the most?
Wedgie.
No, Wedgie wouldn't be fun. Yeah. I mean, it all depends. I've been. You know what always is never fun is a choke slam. That's a coughing up blood kind of situation. Yeah. Who gives them the worst? They all suck. You know, they all suck.
Imagine Superplex probably hurts too.
Yeah, it depends. It's all it depends on how you land. If you land twisted, you're screwed. Yeah.
All right, right here in the middle.
First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I think we all really need it.
No problem. Any good stories or experiences from working in Japan? Do you guys know what the Yakuza is? Yakuza is a Japanese mafia, and they may or may not run things in Japan, not just on the pro wrestling side. I remember every time I would be over there, they would specifically say, oh please, this side of the ring, stay away from it. And then you get out there and you just see the mob sitting there, all wearing suits, all wearing sunglasses, and you just kind of stay away from them. There was one 0-1 match where one of the young boys was wrestling, and I think he was beating up Jun Kasai. And one of the Yakuza, who's a big Jun Kasai fan, just jumped in the ring and like stood over him, like stop beating up Jun Kasai. And the young boy like tried something, and this dude like legit Jet Li like roundhouse kicked him in the face. And then they picked him up. And then they dragged him to the back, and I remember sitting in the back watching him, and his nose was just splattered all over his face already. And they're dragging him in back, and Hashimoto and maybe Otani were walking behind him, and there was like 18 Yakuza guys like all walking, and they all went into a room, and it was like that scene in Pulp Fiction where they leave the Gimp with Bruce Willis, and they go in with Marcellus Wallace, and they close the door, like, they turned around and they like closed the door, and I was just standing there like looking at him like, they're gonna kill him. I don't know what happened in that room, and if I did, I probably couldn't talk about it.
Oh, against the wall here.
Mr. Punk, I got a question for you. Since you are now the top draw in wrestling, do you have any input on the storylines that you and your team like the alphabet skit? Did you do that? But you messed up.
Yeah, I know I messed up. You try saying the alphabet backwards, you asshole. Yes, it wasn't my idea to do a field sobriety test, and like at first thought I was like, this is stupid. Like, And then they're, you know, like they had their ideas for it, and I was like, well, wait, don't they make you say the alphabet backwards? And they're like, yeah, but nobody can do that. And I said, but what if somebody can? And it's sort of like the strip club thing. It's just like, well, there's this strip club here. Let's go see what happens. And yes, thank you very much. I screwed up the alphabet. Yeah, but that was you know, that was the genesis of that. You know, and everyone was like, you can't do it, can you? And then I just did it, like just thinking about it. And then I had to go write it down, and I practiced and stuff. And I nailed it every single time, and then, of course, out there.
Young lady back here.
Will you mention my name on Raw this Monday?
Will I mention your name on Raw?
Do it!
What's your name?
Kendra?
Kendra? I'll try. Can I get a pen? I'll write this down. Alright? Where are you from?
New Jersey.
You're from Jersey? Oh, man.
Just like St. Papa. Can you do a body slam?
Alright. I'm not promising anything. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. They don't know what I'm doing yet. They like to write the TV shows at 7 p.m. On Mondays.
It shows!
And by the way, did you guys know that Monday Night Raw is going to 3 hours per night? I can't promise anything because I don't want to break a promise to you. You look like a sweet girl. I'm going to try. And don't anybody else ask if I can say that. That is off the table.
Take all those 3 hours. Daniel Bryan shirt all the way in the back.
Yes! I have a two-part question. If I may ask the first, and then after you
Okay.
answer that, all right. What is your least favorite feud and why?
My least favorite feud?
Yes.
I look back with great disdain on the CM Punk Big Show stuff. Not because I love wrestling Big Show. To me, it's easy. Well, it is. It's a giant guy. You get beat up, and then you lose. I don't have to think about anything. Plus, I love wrestling him because I always crack him up at the worst time. So that's kind of the thing me and him do. I just hated the fact that they had something in the SES and they dismantled it, and you know, like 3 guys against 1. Yes, he's a giant, but still, like, the SES was something, and it was something that it could have been so much greater, and they really, no offense, Kendra, they really cocked that one up. They screwed that up big time. What's the second part of the question?
Why is Zack Ryder no longer on TV?
I don't know. I would imagine Zack Ryder is no longer on TV because he complains about not being on TV. Sometimes Zack Ryder is his own worst enemy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We got time for a couple more here. How about right here on the side here?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you. Wait a minute. Are you guys sisters? It's a joke from Slapshot. It's a Hanson Brothers thing, and nobody got it. I'm sorry. It's my favorite movie, but go ahead.
Can we do that?
What?
Can she pass her question to Matt?
Sure.
Why not?
I see on Twitter sometimes you post some obscure Simpsons quotes. Do you have a favorite Simpsons episode?
Ooh, great question.
Thank you.
Man, that's right up there with like the favorite G.I. Joe episode. It's kind of hard to.
Limited season 1 through 8.
I don't know if I have a favorite episode. I got favorite quotes and moments and stuff like that. Obviously, some of the most memorable ones are like the monorail or Flaming Moe, and those are good ones. I like when Homer gets really fat.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me shortly. Yeah.
I got time for one last question, and I love your hat in the back, young lady, so we're only going to get yours.
She works here.
Oh, hold on. Time out 1 second. Okay, hang on.
No!
Okay, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. About that later. Let's get these questions out.
Okay, first of all, I love you. Second of all, I have two questions. First question, what is your favorite match from the Attitude Era?
My favorite match from the Attitude Era. I don't know. This is the weird thing about me. A lot of that stuff is hazy, and not because I get hit in the head a lot. It's because I started wrestling in '97, and yeah, I still kept tabs on stuff, but it was very difficult to I kind of stopped being that hardcore. Like I wasn't just sitting there watching it anymore. I was out doing it, and I was trying to wrestle like anywhere and everywhere I could. So I missed a lot of stuff. But the Attitude Era stuff, I think and I don't even know if this was '96, so I don't even know when it started and stopped. '97, so this doesn't count because I think this is '96. But Mankind, Shawn Michaels, I think it was Mind Games or something like that. It's a hell of a match, you know, and I think it took place here in Philly. And the second part of your question.
What is your favorite match to compete in?
My favorite match to compete in?
Yeah.
I'm old school. It's either just a straight up one fall or like I like doing 2 out of 3s. I've been doing a lot of 2 out of 3s lately. I was doing them with Ziggler and stuff like that. That's all my idea. We have I don't know if any of you have been to our house shows. I refuse to call them live events. It's like, but we have like it's a kind of like a mini Raw stage, you know, so it looks more like TV. And there's big screen TVs, and I don't know what is it. It's right up there with the title and the ice cream. I saw that thing, and I turned to somebody like Michael Hayes, and I was like, "Can we put a clock on that thing?" And he's like, "Well, I don't see why not." 6 months later, we still cannot figure out how to put a clock on the big screen. I want to do Iron Man matches, and that was the idea. Like and he's like, "Well, who would you do him with?" And I was just like, "I'll do him with Alberto. I'll do him with Swagger. I'll do him with Ziggler. I don't care who it is. Like, let me do Iron Man matches." But we you know can't figure out how to put a clock on the giant big screen, which is very telling. Thanks for laughing. Is there anybody in FCW that I really want to compete against soon? This is to me, this is no offense to FCW, but I think OVW has and will always be the top developmental. It was just, I mean, I was there, so I'm biased, but it was legit. Like, and I don't use this word a lot, but it was magical. I mean, there was so many talented people down there. So many talented people just didn't even make it to television. In FCW right now, they've never had a deeper, more amazing talent pool. I mean, and you're seeing them. A lot of them are coming up to TV already. Cesaro, who's Claudio, who's a stud. Chris Hero's down there now, yes. Tyler Black is on the road now, actually. He wrestled last night in Alexandria. Ambrose, obviously. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Dean Ambrose. And it really makes me feel old because a lot of these guys like sort of say that they look up to me, which is really weird. There's so many guys down there right now. I'll always call him Aaron the Idol Stevens. What's his name on SmackDown now? Damian Sandow. Yeah. He's awesome too. Like, there's SmackDown right now. You know, there's a lot of fresh talent. I would love. Me and Idol would be able to put on a show. I would love to wrestle him, Damian Sandow. I think Ambrose is a really special guy, and so I'm doing my best to make sure that we don't screw that up.
All right. In the middle here.
First of all, again, thank you for coming. I do have 2 questions. One is, what do you think? What would you say is probably the most surprising, or the comic that people might be most surprised to find out that you like? And I'll tell you the second question
please don't be offended. Yes, I am texting, but I am an excellent multitasker. Like if I could drive a car right now, I would. A comic that you would be shocked that I liked? I don't know. I like good comics, so I don't know if you'd be shocked. Like what would shock you? No, don't like Archie.
Next question.
Anything? When I started reading comics, I think it was very much because of the characters, and then it turned into art, and then I finally kind of came to my senses, and I read stuff based on who's writing it. Because even if I don't like Superman, if somebody like Warren Ellis is writing it, I know it's going to be good. Yeah, so I go by the writers.
The second part of the question is, could you tell us, because you were on Ghost Hunters Live, and in the following year, you had the Eliza Express on Ghost Hunters Live.
Yep.
Tell us about maybe some of the Black Elijah guys from the locker room after his appearance on Ghost Hunters Live.
We played that on the big screen. And we do that a lot, actually. Like we'll have like rehearsals and stuff, and everyone will be down by the ring, and everyone will be like, "Oh, here we can show this new promo package," and then it'll be something completely embarrassing. Like one time, Dusty Rhodes fell over the guardrail. Like he went through like tried to get over it, got stuck on top, and then just like flopped. After like we replayed that like 1,000 times. We replayed the Elijah thing 1,000 times too, because yes, it was very ridiculous. Him running and screaming like a woman. No offense to any women.
Right here.
Was I the only? I was the only option if you ask THQ. And they're, obviously it's their decision, it's their product, it's their promotion. They wanted me from Jump Street, as the kids say. I can't really comment if the office may have wanted somebody else and tried their damnedest to get somebody else on there. THQ said, no thank you, we're going with CM Punk. And I knew it like a year ago, but the office still, I'm still that guy. I'm always going to be that guy. They'll always go, no, what about him? What about this guy? And everyone always goes,
Let's see him.
A lot of people love me.
Yes, we do.
It's funny. I just watched in a Evolve pay-per-view or a DVD. I had it. Kurt Hawkins actually had it. He still spends money on wrestling. It's shocking. And I was watching Bobby Fish versus Sami Callihan, and I was just like, man, these guys are just hitting each other as hard as they can. This was me and Chris Hero 12 years ago. I have extreme fond memories of wrestling Chris Hero. It's cool. The friendships you forge and like the bonds and stuff like that, and you hurt the ones you love. I can get away with punching somebody I like in the face because it's funny, but if I'm wrestling somebody that I don't know, I don't want them to think that that I'm that's the way I am. But yeah, wrestling Hero. I think that was one of the first. I like to say magical moments of my career when we went out to do that ladder match, and Ian was like, "How long you guys got?" And we got like 20 minutes. We're fine. Don't worry about it, because we weren't the main event. There was some we're gonna crash through light tubes match after us, and yeah, that was wrestling Hero was always awesome because I think me and him both were constantly evolving and changing, and it was always interesting to see. You could always revisit that match and do it like 1,000 times. It was always different. Pretty weird, I know. It's silly.
Well, Luigi in the back.
Luigi! Look at Luigi's here!
First off, congratulations on having the sickest WWE cover game since Attitude.
Thank you.
And secondly, I followed your career from ROH to OVW to WWE. And from AFI to Minor Threat to Living Color to Jay-Z, you have a great taste in music. Woo. My question is, though, if you could have your way, what band or artist would be wiped from existence?
See, this is why I don't have superpowers. Yeah, I think it's Nickelback. Or you know what? No, wait.
Creed.
Offspring. Yeah. Yeah. The most suspect band on the face of the planet. Because you can have all their hit songs sound familiar.
You're not
in
Pretty
some way.
Fly.
Yeah. It's, I mean, they ripped off a Beatles song, for Christ's sake. You know? How does nobody call them on that? It's very strange.
Somebody give him a gun.
Gentleman with the very cool belt in the back.
I got two questions. What are your thoughts on Brock Lesnar and feuding with him? And your second one is, if you had a chance to see with Robert Roode, what would you think of that?
I'll answer I didn't hear the second question yet. What are my thoughts on Brock Lesnar and me feuding with him? I obviously think that's reserved for somebody else. But I would love to. I'd love to get in the ring with Brock. I'll get in the ring with anybody, you know. I'll give anybody a go. I think that's kind of the allure of me. I think I can work well with anybody, whether it's Ray or Big Show. I'll always find a way to make it work, so to speak. What's your second question?
What's your thoughts on Robert Roode and TNA?
What are my thoughts on Robert Roode?
Yeah.
I don't know him. I think I maybe briefly met him at the Nashville Fairgrounds, like when I was kind of working there. I honestly, and this isn't a slight on TNA, this is just, when I go home, I still record it, but it's the first thing I delete without watching when I get home off the and it's, like I said, it's not because it's TNA, it's just the next thing to go is SmackDown, and then I don't want to watch wrestling when I'm at home, but it's like, I still can't take myself to take it off the DVR. I'm mental that way, but it's been a while since I watched, so I really can't comment on it.
All right, thanks.
No problem. And trust me, that's not just a safe answer. Like if I thought he sucked, I would say he sucked, and I think everyone knows that.
I want to see you and him in an Iron Man match.
What?
Iron Man.
What?
He wants to see you and him in an Iron Man match.
You want to see me and Bobby Roode in an Iron Man match? All right, put the money on the table. I'm your man. Let's do it.
I just got the last question signed.
From who?
For the second time.
Really? Are the cops shutting us down? Okay, I'm dead serious. Like, what time is this thing shut down? Like, do I have something to do?
They still have a beer.
All right, let's do a couple more. Sorry, guys.
Well,
I'm really good.
I see your doppelganger sitting out there, and I want to know this guy's question. Oh boy. Sir, stand up. These people got stand up. Stand up. This guy walking around acting to think it was you for a second.
Are you sure that?
That's funny because I wanted your autograph, Jean-Luc Picard. What's the question?
I just wanted to ask about this division.
This will be good.
I think a lot of my friends.
I didn't do it.
It's kind of like.
Whatever.
No. It's like, a lot of my friends think, oh, this is bad. Like, is there a way to make this division really good, or is it awesome?
Yeah, I think there's a way to make everything good.
Karma.
That doesn't make it good if she's got nobody to work with. There's a way to highlight everybody's positives and hide away their negatives, and I just think that's one of those things that we've gotten away from on television. Unfortunately we screw up more than we produce. That's why when something hits, it's like, oh wow, shocking. I don't want it to be shocking. I want it to be the norm. Yeah, there's a way to make the Diva division better. I think a lot of people complain that their matches are short, but it doesn't matter. But the stuff in the ring on television doesn't matter. The people need to have a connection to a character. They need to feel they can relate to a character. It doesn't matter if I have 26 minutes to wrestle every Monday night, unless they feel they can relate to me and they know me. You could take Chris Hero right now, who's a great wrestler, and put him on Raw for 30 minutes wrestling somebody. No one's going to care because no one knows who he is. I think a lot of our fans don't know who the Divas are. They don't know their personalities. So that would probably be the best way to get them to get better, I suppose. You need to spotlight all those girls, whether it's Beth or Maddie or Lisa Fox or whoever.
Young lady with the sparkly bracelet. That's a loaded question.
My favorite cereal? I'll have you know that I was not allowed to eat sugary cereals when I was a kid. So when I finally was like, I had my own money, I went and I bought Fruity Pebbles, I think it was, and they were the most awful things. Yes! Horrible. They're horrible, right? They're terrible. I haven't eaten cereal in quite some time. I was a really big fan of Honey Sunshine from Kashi though, and just try it.
Man over here. Yep.
Did you ever find a tattoo parlor when you were in Moscow?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. Moscow is built like a lot of old cities where it's rings, and that's to stop the Mongol hordes from attacking. So like we were in the center, and then everything was just built in rings, like going outside. Like we weren't close to anything. I went to the Red Square, kind of did touristy stuff, because hey, when's the next time I'm going to be in Moscow? But I didn't get a chance. No, it sucks. No problem.
Sir.
Will I ever go back to the Murphy Rec Center? I don't know. We thought about maybe going there for my DVD just to kind of say hi. Who wants me back to Murphy? Specifically, the Murphy Rec Center really wants me. Crazy. No, I'll expand on that. I don't know if when I'm done here I would ever work anywhere else. I don't know. It's one of those things. If an opportunity somewhere presented itself to like maybe wrestle Joe or do something with Cabana, yeah. But I wouldn't be one of these guys that leaves here and immediately like starts grinding and going wrestling everywhere. I swear there's a break in my future somewhere. I just don't know where it is, but it's coming. I think it's a lot sooner than we all think.
So right here.
Do you still want to fight Chris Brown?
Do I want to fight Chris Brown? Yeah, but I'm crazy. I'll fight anybody. But yeah, I would still fight Chris.
Is there anybody from the present or from the past that you just flat out don't like to work with?
Or Tensai.
I don't. What's that? Or Tensai? No, I would love to work with him. Yeah, that's the one. I knew somebody would say that. Yeah, that's my go-to on this question. I think a lot of people are politically correct and they're afraid of saying anything. But yeah, Elijah. I think Elijah had a lot of potential, but he's one of those guys that he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He wanted to be something that he wasn't. Like when he was a heel, he wanted to be a babyface. He wanted to do all these, and it was pulling teeth wrestling with him. And he's a diva too. He would constantly pull the I got a concussion in that match, and that's why I screwed up all my stuff. And if somebody was like, hey, I screwed that stuff up, I suck. I can at least, man up and just admit it. I never really got along with him, and yeah, I hated wrestling him. Sorry, Elijah. I'm sure it's going to make some sort of a dirt sheet headline, but it is what it is. I'm not a liar. There was no story. That was me. I thought I was going to get the mic cut. This is what happened with that. I was leaving, and for some reason, I showed up to TV, and they're like, well, you get your wish, you get to air your grievances. And I was like, wow, cool, really? Yeah, so just, write down what you want, and we'll show it to Vince. And I was like, he's not going to let me say anything. It doesn't make any sense. So what I did is, unbeknownst, because I didn't want to get anybody fired, unbeknownst that I wrote a phony one, which got approved. And then I went out there and I said whatever I wanted, because there's no way in hell Vince would have let me say anything about Paul Heyman. He never would have let me say anything about Brock Lesnar. He never would have had me mention Johnny. There's certain things, and if you know. And the funny part about that promo is the reason I said hi to Colt Cabana is I completely lost my train of thought. It was one of those surreal moments. I was sitting there and I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I can't believe they haven't shut my microphone off. What am I going to say now? Hey, Colt Cabana. It was just, and it took me long enough, and I finally got the wheels turning again. But no, that was kind of like the trigger. Like I was going to say something bad or revealing about Vince, and that's when it got cut. So that was, I literally thought I was going to get the plug pulled way before that, but they let it fly. And I'm trying to get back to that. I think, and it's a lot of fault of my own. I think I've lost a little bit of that, But like I said, I think it's hard to do that every week. You can't do that every week. It becomes normal. It becomes boring. I'm not trying to be stagnant. I do admit I think I've become a little bit, maybe a lot stagnant. I don't know. I'm trying, guys. Sorry.
Right here.
Well, I worked at PWG. I probably had one of the worst PWG matches of all times. Like, they were visibly upset with us, me and Steve Corino. It was awful, because Corino was at a point where he didn't care, so I was just like, well, okay, I can do that too. I can be apathetic. And yeah, we went out there, and it was really, really bad. And that's a tangent. I dig PWG. I don't get to watch stuff as much. Like I said, I just watched that Evolve show, and there's a couple of guys that I thought had a lot of potential. But watching wrestling is something that I don't do as often as I used to, for sure. What was the second part?
The second part was regarding your feud with Jeff Hardy in 2009. What do you think was your favorite part of that feud?
The promos. I finally got to be me. That was the first time I was on TV for 3 years, and I was just like, I don't know what I was. I was just like some guy, and doing this stuff with Jeff enabled me to be me, and I'm a bad guy. And the funny thing about that story is I remember when Vince called me into his office, and he's like, I got a challenge for you, guy. And I went, great. And then long-winded story, conversation, and he tells me I'm going to cash in on Jeff, and we're going to slowly turn me to the dark side. And I'm just looking at him, and he goes, so? And I went, what's the challenge? He says, see if you can pull off being a heel. What did you just say to me? I want to see if you can pull it off. It's fucking insulting. See if I go, you have no idea what you have no idea what you're doing. I said, just give me 1 month. 1 month, I'll be the top bad guy in this company. Yeah. And I was, and I don't care what anybody says. I was. That's 3 questions, sir, and it was me. And I did that in Ring of Honor with Chris Daniels, and it was my idea then too, and a lot of the stuff I do is just kind of throwback stuff to what I've already done, because I know it works, and it's a lot of I remember I did that Jeff thing, and they're like, wow, that doesn't make any sense, and I was like, no, guys, seriously, you have no idea how much it's going to piss everybody off. There's kids in this audience. Yeah, and it was one of the greatest things where people thought it was actually him, and you see kids and they get all excited, and you see that shock on their face. No. Yeah, that's what I like doing. I like breaking hearts.
Philly Phillies hat all the way in the back.
First, I want to say thank you very much for putting the focus back on actual wrestling. We all appreciate it. This here is my beautiful cousin Bianca.
Hi, Bianca.
Today's her birthday.
Oh, snap.
Could you sing her happy birthday, please?
What are we doing? We're singing?
Could you sing her happy birthday, please?
I can't, but I think everybody can. Can we get this done, everybody? This is a CM Punk-esque kind of thing to do. You ready?
Ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bianca. Happy birthday to you. All right, we're gonna do 3 more. I seriously gotta go. I've pushed this 30 minutes past what I was supposed to do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, we're gonna have one lady. We need a question from one lady. I will take one small child and then one gentleman. So, and you gotta make. Are they good questions? Are we sure?
That kid.
Okay.
That kid.
We'll do gentlemen in the Cubs jersey right there. Now hold please, because we're gonna do ladies first. Okay, CM Punk shirt. Yeah, and then
This kid.
right there. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ladies first. Sweet. I have a bone to pick with you. No, yeah, I know all that. I don't know if I can tell those. I don't, but I doesn't mean I have to divulge all the sort of details of my life. I don't know. You gotta give me. I don't know. I get put when I get put on the spot. I don't know. I can't just pull one out, you know. So I don't know. That doesn't help.
This one.
Kofi and I always, because Kofi's my road wife. We've been traveling together since he debuted. I don't know why. I literally want, like, the day he showed up the TV, I was like, you in the car, you're riding with me. And he was like, okay. Me and him, it never fails. Obviously it's changed because I got a bus now, thankfully. But him and I think this has been detailed before, so hopefully this isn't boring for you. Him and I constantly get pulled over and always harassed because of how I look, and I'm with an African American gentleman with dreadlocks. And you cannot tell that cop that there is no weed in the car. He thinks he has hit the mother lode. You know, and there was one time it got really bad. We were like in Missouri and we were driving, but we had rented the car in one of the neighboring states. Okay, so we have an out-of-state car driving through Missouri. I have a Chicago driver's license, Illinois state driver's license. Kofi has a Tampa, Florida state driver's license. He is black. He has dreadlocks, and I am covered in tattoos, and I look like I know how to make some pretty good meth. So the cop, like, from the time we got pulled over, we were literally, it was about 3.5 hours, and we still had like another 3 to drive. And cops pulled us over. Cops asking me all kinds of questions. I know where this is headed. It's happened to me a dozen times. The cop says, "Coffee, you mind stepping out of the car?" And I like a deer darts in front of the car, and you do like the human seatbelt thing. And I said, "Kofi, you do not have to get out of the car." Kofi's a little bit naive. I have a little bit more, you know, city miles on myself, as I like to say. And Kofi's like, "Oh, what's the big deal?" And I was like, Kofi gets out of the car. I watch in the rearview mirror as the man immediately starts cuffing Kofi. And Kofi's looking at me like, you shouldn't have got out of the car. So So now other squads are pulling up, and you know, I mean, it's ridiculous. They like, I think 4 other squad cars, 2 state troopers. So now we have 6 cop cars on the side of the road, and now they're all trying to get me out of the car. Just come out of the car. Just I just want to talk to you out here. I can hear you fine. You know, in here. They're, you know, well, you know, your buddy's out of the car. You know, we're gonna take him in. If you don't, oh, this is horrible. Like, I know where this is going. For the last time, do you want to tell us, is there anything in the car? I was like, dude, there's nothing in the car. Well, can we search it? I would rather you didn't. You know, we have places to be. Like, this is turning ridiculous. So, of course, I get out of the car. They start cuffing me. I've been in trouble a few times in my life, though Kofi hasn't. So, as they're trying to maneuver me around the car, I'm like, no, I'm going to stand right in front of the camera, where the camera's at. I'm like, I know things, and these are all, like, you know, borderline, like, hick yokel cops. We're in Missouri, for Christ's sake. They put Kofi in one squad car. They finally get me in another squad car, and we watch as they dismantle our rental car. To the point where they're putting rubber gloves on, and they're going through jugs of protein and just spilling it out on the highway and everything. And I'm in a cop car by myself. I start to get nervous because there's now 2 canine cars. So there's 8 squad cars, right? For us 2 phony pro wrestlers. I know, it's a strange world. And I'm getting nervous now because all it takes is one of these cops to plant something ridiculous, you know? And it sounds crazy, but trust me, it does happen. And I just pictured them, okay, we haven't found anything. How do we explain 8 squad cars, you know, and not finding anything? You know, we're going to get in trouble, and if I have to do all this paperwork, I'm going to have a bust. So I'm sitting there thinking, this is going to suck because I have to fight 8 cops and 2 German Shepherds and possibly Kofi. So they come back around and they're like, we're going to ask you one more time, is there anything in the car? And that's when I had it. I was like, let me out of the car. They let me out of the car. I walked back in front of the camera, and if you thought the promo I cut on Raw in July, Vegas was bad, I let these guys have it. And Kofi was just like, sir, let's just go. You know, but it happens to us a lot. Like, that's just one story, and it's certainly not isolated. It happens frequently. I hope that this is good. No problem. Let's do the boy next. What we got? Who do I think is going to win, John Cena or Big Show? I think John Cena is going to win. Who knows? I could be wrong.
John Cena can't put the STF on Big Show. Can't be done.
Sure he can. Who is the last one? I regret this is the last one. I'm sorry. Was what? Oh yeah.
I just wanted to know who some of your favorite managers were, and if we had to choose one of the companies you would rank, who would it be?
I think the greatest manager of all time is Bobby Heenan. I also think there's something to be said for females, and not valets. I'm talking like managers. I'm talking Sensational Sherry. To me, she was female Bobby Heenan. I'll end it with this, guys. I had this great idea. This is one of my genius, brilliant ideas that I never got to do because they didn't get it. When I was doing the Nexus thing, I approached the Bella Twins, and I was like, ladies, how would you like to work with me?